Buffalo are everything you look for in a big game animal. To me, they're big, they're nasty, they have an attitude, they're cunning, they're vindictive, their senses are incredible, the sense of eyesight and hearing, and their nose is phenomenal. And then you put them in a herd and it's just amplified. I mean, trying to get up on a buffalo in thick cover, pick out a good bull, and do it out of a herd. I mean, there really aren't many big game challenges in the world any tougher than that. But when you succeed, there are few hunts more memorable.
It took a generation of civil war to erase 400 years of colonial rule. Now, Mozambique takes its place as a top African safari destination.
If you could imagine being in Africa 50, 60 years ago, that's what this feeling is here.
This is absolutely like Jurassic Park. It's complete wilderness. There's really nothing I've ever seen like it anywhere in Africa.
For host and author Chris Dorsey, it's back to the future as he hunts with old friend Alistair MacLean. It's all in the family in Mozambique, as Dorsey will be guided, hunting perhaps the most deadly of the big five Cape buffalo, by Alistair's professional hunter son, Alex.
There's good numbers out there, good breeding herds.
Buffalo hunting's about the miles, much like elephant. You know, for every pound of ivory, it takes a mile to get there. That's the old BH's saying. Well, it's not much different in Cape buffalo. Buffalo hunting very often starts around water.
They're drinking in the water pans and then they're moving off into the thickets, and yeah, it's really, really difficult tracking.
Fresh tracks, though.
It's a fresh track, yeah. It's
Lone bull.
It's a lone bull. You have to go for a walk after him and then have a look.
Absolutely. It's a single bull. He's headed out this way. We're gonna go after him. He can't be far. This is extremely fresh. Just take it right through here. Looks like he's bedded down right there. I don't think he's gonna move.
Yeah, he's bedded down, facing that way.
He's facing that way. So if he stands up, I don't rush, but we can try it.
When you get in tight on buffalo, like we were in the first day, and you got buffalo in the thickets, you got the grunts going on, you got leaves crunching, you got these 2,000-pound animals all the way around you in a semicircle, but you got a ton of cover. It feeds your whole nervous system, and you're on edge. I mean, you're awakening genes that most humans never awaken in their entire lives.
Can barely see him.
Watch him, watch him. He didn't rock up, he rocketed out, and he was gone, just like that. I mean, just as fast as I could recognize where his head was, he was already into the bush, and really just evaporated into the bush.
Got a good look at him, he just pulled it out. Damn it.
We never got up to that bull. We stayed on him, and he did this giant horseshoe, almost a full circle that covered maybe 3 or 4 miles and brought us almost back to the spot where we started. And I'm sure he's laughing somewhere, because we'll never get that bull. No way.
But the most truly dangerous stage of a buffalo hunt comes when the shot's fired and the buffalo's hit.
These things are strong, they're fast, they don't mock charge. There's nothing mock about a Cape buffalo. When they decide to come, they're gonna come.
You'll mow down any bush or anything in front of him to get to you.
And the only thing that's standing between you and that Cape buffalo is your ability to put a bullet in a spot that's going to stop a charge. Not kill it, stop a charge.
And when a charge isn't stopped, the result can be tragedy, as professional hunter Simon Evans nearly learned.
I had a little incident with a buffalo.
In Tanzania's Maasai land, hunter became hunted when Evans trailed a client's wounded buffalo into the thick scrub.
It was July. The grass was long and the bush was thick, and I had to get down on my hands and knees. I get round this one bush. As I put my head around that bush, and I'm down on my knees with the rifle ready, and I just hear this thing come. I just hear it just come out of that bush. The one thing you know with a buffalo, if he's coming, he lets out a growl. He's not the snort that when they're leaving. You know, they normally, they're taking off. But he let out a, and he came, and he grunted the whole way. The buffalo came out of the thicket, now he's clear, and I fired. But unfortunately, there was a click. I had a misfire, and I had to think quickly. From here to you, it's 5 yards, and he put his head down, and I just remember raising the rifle and just praying to God that this would go off, because I was aiming right for the crease in his neck, and I was calm, thinking that this was going to nail him. Unfortunately, the second click happened and I went cold. On first impact, it hit me with a, smacked the rifle into my face. And then he obviously hooked me like that. The horn went in here and luckily broke a rib and slid under my pectoral and came out just under my collarbone. And he tossed, and luckily I actually flew off the horn. If it had been 1 centimeter lower here under my rib, he would have ripped my rib cage right open. Luckily for me, he was about a 42.5, 43-inch buffalo. Because if he'd been shorter and more maneuverable, I think he would have got it in under my ribs, and I definitely wouldn't have got out of that deal.
This morning we got a particularly early start. We wanted to go to a specific water hole and try and catch the buffalo coming in to drink.
Gotta be up right here. Here we go. Right here. It's a pretty good bull right there. They see us. Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move.
We saw them through a bunch of brush, super thick stuff, but they had seen us at that point. One of them's up and they're starting to do the head shakes. Something's not right, and
Is there 3? 4. Oh, I could only see the one, barely.
they bust out to the left. They're maybe 50, 60 yards away. We got them almost single file. That lead left bull is a dandy. I mean, this has got to be the guy with the big track.
Take the one on the left, one on the left.
That anticipation, that sense of drama, that sense of, man, it's got to happen. This could be it.
Take the one on the left. Good shot.
A little far back, I think. He was quartered away. That might work.
We went a couple of, about 50, 60 meters, started picking up some blood spoor already. There's blood here. It's actually a good bleed, that. This one's run off now on its own.
All right, so if we see buffalo again, we're good.
Yeah, we know we're good. All right, let's stand the blood and let's go.
So everybody was switched on at that point. Everybody's alerted that, hey, we got something hit here. We don't exactly know how hard, so be ready.
Watch those thickets up ahead.
There's a tracker ahead of me. He's kind of looking down at the ground on blood trail.
Just be ready.
I see kind of a gray mass behind a bush, maybe 70, 80 yards away.
Buffalo, 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 buffalo.
I just pull him out of the way, come up, run up there.
Yeah, good.
Down!
Whoa!
Well
Look
done.
at that, man! We got him. He was a lot sicker than I thought. I mean, he was just down there.
That first shot had done a lot of damage. The first shot basically would have killed him. It would have taken some more time. But the thing about dangerous game is you just keep shooting.
Well done. Good shooting there, sir.
Man, that was fun to get up on him. He must have been just a little sicker than I thought.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It doesn't matter how many times you do it, the heart still, still races.
They're
and
just
goes.
great animals, aren't they? I mean, just the whole element of danger, the size, they're switched on. I mean, he gave us 2 seconds. I mean, he was shooting straight out there.
And
Look at that. Yeah, look at that thickness, and he's hard all the way.
hard all the way through.
But you know what hits you is this mass all the way through here. It's got the Harley handlebars going on.
This is my adrenaline, and I am connected to the planet. I'm connected to everything, it seems like, at that point. I am hardwired into the moment, and I'm never more alive than when I'm in that situation. And yeah, that's a big reason why I do this.